going, Deacon Henry?
Good morning, Jen. I don't know how it's going, actually. It's going fine. It's all going fine.
Good. Well, welcome to the recap.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
You're a very special guest star today.
Ah, look at me.
So we're going to recap first by talking about the Latino Supper Club that happened this past Saturday. And there was a pretty nice turnout, actually, of both the Hispanic community and the Anglo community and other folks in between. And
I heard there were a lot of people here.
Yeah, it was pretty good, and the food was amazing. The Comunidad Hijos de Maria Santísima hosted it.
Look at that! Wow!
They provided the food and the hospitality, and they were absolutely amazing. They really represented our parish so beautifully, and were very, very welcoming to everybody who came. So we thank them for that.
That's a good
And
thing.
the next one is going to be at the Community Refuge Church of Christ, which is in Manalapan, and we're looking forward to that. We don't have a date yet, though.
Okay.
That same day was Bishop Smith's funeral.
Yeah.
I got to go. It was a very beautiful mass. There were 5 bishops, and Cardinal Tobin was there.
Yeah.
It was really nice. But you have a nice story.
Yeah, I
about
do
it,
actually,
right?
and it's a quick story. So when I was ordained in 2008, all the deacons after we're ordained normally go down in the cafeteria, I guess
the
it was
little
under
hall.
the church, under the cathedral, and everybody wants a picture with the bishop. So, of course, I asked the bishop for a picture, and he was a big man. I'm a little guy. And so we waited, and I was a nervous wreck. I was also the deacon of the mass.
Oh, you were?
Yes, so I was vested in the diocesan alb and, stole and all of that, and the dalmatic. And so I waited for him, and I was standing next to him, and unbeknownst to me, I guess I was standing far away from him. So he grabs me by the arm, and he says, "Are you afraid of standing next to me? Are you afraid of a picture with me?" And I said, "Yeah, I guess I'm a little intimidated." And he said, "Well, I'm the one that should be intimidated."
And why did he say that?
I don't know, but that's just, he was an unbelievable pastoral man, an unbelievable loving father.
Yeah, he was.
And I didn't get an opportunity to go to the funeral because I had a prior commitment, and I just could not get out of it. But wow, what a man.
He really
will
was.
be sorely missed. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody was talking after the mass about how, pastoral.
Oh my, what a
you could
love.
approach him, and there was like no.
He was like a great, a
Like
wonderful
a grandpa.
Yeah.
He was.
There
he
you
was.
go.
With his funny stories and
Oh,
everything.
he always had a little story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's that. We'll miss him.
Yes.
Coming up, we have this weekend Candlemas and the Feast of St. Blaise. So
St. Blaise, yeah.
Candlemas is on Saturday. That's also called the Feast of the Presentation,
Right.
and the Circumcision of Jesus. And it's a tradition that dates back to the 4th century, actually. And the church has been celebrating it since then. That
Right.
Mary came for her purification, and then they circumcised Jesus, and it's a tradition to bless candles
right.
that will be used in the home
Right.
and in the church for the coming year, because it's a reminder that Jesus is the light of the world.
Right.
So if you come to the 9 o'clock mass, who's deaconing? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay.
I will if we can't get anybody else.
Okay,
But
awesome.
Maybe Ralph. I don't know.
Okay, we'll check.
You haven't-
But the 9 o'clock mass, before mass starts, they have this wonderful little blessing in the gathering area, and then you can bring your own candles from home, or there will be candles there for you to take.
Right.
But it's a really nice little service, and then we
is.
have mass, which is great too. And then, of course, the Feast of St. Blaise, we know traditionally that's a day to have your throat blessed.
Yep.
I avoid it like the plague, because since I was a kid, whenever we would get the blessing done at school, I would wind up sick, like automatically.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
It has a opposite effect on me, so I do not get my throat blessed. But if you want your throat blessed, you're brave people, then come to Mass either Saturday or Sunday, and there'll be a general blessing when Mass is over, with the opportunity for individual blessings.
After Mass, right?
After
Yeah.
the Mass is
Yeah.
concluded.
Yeah.
So the procession won't happen, the recession, it won't happen with
Right.
the priests and the deacons. They
Right.
will stay up front, the Eucharistic ministers will come back, and you'll have the opportunity to have your throat blessed.
Always a good idea to have your throat blessed.
Unless you're me.
Unless you're Jen. I'm not Jen.
No. Can you tell?
Yeah.
All right, so you, Deacon Henry, wear a collar.
I wear a
and
collar.
when you're on the sanctuary, you wear a dalmatic, you wear
Dalmatic,
vestments.
An alb and a stole.
Yep.
Right.
You participate in the liturgy in a very important way. And sometimes people get confused about the difference between a priest and a deacon. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
I can do that. The idea of a deacon, well, we are servants. We are men of service.
Diaconia.
Diaconia, that's right. And in the early, well, the apostles had deacons serve at suppers and at gatherings and stuff like that. And the idea for the stole represents the idea of having a washcloth or a towel to be able to serve. So we wear that across our shoulder. And no, we're not a priest. And I'll tell you a very quick story. Probably my second or third baptism. There was a little old Italian lady who was very sweet. She told me that she was teaching in Kane College. And she, we were just talking, nice homily and beautiful service and blah, 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 blah. And she says, "Thank you, Father." And I said, "Well, Mrs., and I remember her name, Mrs. Giordano, I'm not a deacon, I'm not a priest, I'm a deacon." And I explained to her what a deacon is, and she says, "Oh, that's wonderful." She said, "Thank you so much, Father." So, but we are not priests. We are either men that, most of us are married, most of us are in the working world, we have families, we have children, grandchildren, some of us are not married. For a deacon, if you are married and lose your spouse, we cannot remarry. We take a vow of celibacy then, at that point. But we are out and in the workplace, and we are out in the community where we should be. A priest has his very, very, very special space on the altar, in the church, and the priests are also out in the community as well, obviously. But they're not in the workplace, they don't have families, they don't have children. So we are kind of, and I like to equate it to a shop steward. You're not the management, but you're not on the, you're not the average worker. You're kind of in the middle. And that's where we are. We serve our priests. We literally report directly to the bishop, but are obviously serve in the parish. So my responsibility, of course, is to Monsignor. But in the workplace, we are able to, and I don't mean this literally, but wear our collars in the office place. Everyone knew I was a deacon because so many people knew when I was taking class and all of that. So it's really an opportunity to evangelize. It's a great opportunity to serve. It's a great opportunity to be me. And one last quick story. When I was working, I was walking up the walkway here, heading for one of the meetings. It was about 7:30, and my boss, I told him, "Can I call you back because I'm heading for a meeting?" He said, "Oh, that's right. You're studying to be a deacon." He was a Catholic man, and I said, "Yeah, I am." And he said, "Why would you ever want to do that?" "No, I was already ordained. I'm sorry." He said, "You are a deacon." And he said, "Why would you ever want to do that?" And I said, "I've been a deacon all my life. It's not something that I became. It is a confirmation, a certification, what's the word?
Recognition?
Yeah, recognition, but affirmation." That was Frank, by the way. Thank you,
Nice,
Frank.
Frank.
An affirmation of who I have been since birth, I assume, who the Lord just, wanted me to be. So we're kind of a little bit of everything. We baptize, we marry, we participate in funeral services, we can do some parts of the last sacrament of the sick, but we don't do it here in the diocese because of the confession thing. We obviously don't hear confession, and we can't consecrate the bread and wine into the precious body and blood.
But you read the gospel and you
read
can
the gospel and we preach, and usually the masses that I preach is when everybody falls asleep.
Oh, that's not true. You had a great homily last week.
Okay.
I really appreciated it. But yeah, that diaconia, that service to the community, you guys really do take your ministry to places
out
that the priests can't go.
That's right.
Because they have a specific job. And so plus you know what it's like to have a family, like to be married and have a family. So you can kind of bridge that gap for the
we carry all of that along with the church, and sometimes it's difficult, and try to meld that all together, but use that as service.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful thing. What a gift, what a blessing, and I just pray God that I do it, to the best of my ability.
All the deacons here are awesome. We really are lucky here. All right, so we're looking forward to Monsignor coming home.
Yeah, we are, right, Jen?
We are. No, just seriously.
Party's over.
There was no party.
No.
We really are looking forward to Monsignor coming home.
We are.
We miss him.
We are.
It's been a long time.
Yes.
And,
Too
we
long.
got a lot of work done. Yeah, but we haven't seen his smiling face. So
That's right.
We miss him.
Miss you, Monsignor.
Oh. So, but thanks for coming and
Oh,
talking
thank you
to
for
us
inviting us.
today,
This was my
Deacon.
first time, and I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Good. And so
Thank
we'll
you.
have Monsignor back next week, and looking forward to seeing you this Sunday. Have a great couple of days.
God bless.